This is DateLine. Headline breaking news with a little snarky sauce spread all over. DateLine, Texas. While our hero Marine, Andrew Tamaresi, is still locked up in jail, the chief border administrator in Tijuana lives the life of luxury.
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
In Houston, Alejandro Gilbot is the man who, in a general way, is overseeing Andrew's stay at the Mexican prison. He is, as most in the Mexican government are, corrupt. But Alejandro has taken it to the next level. He has an excellent salary for a Mexican administrator of $8,000 a month, but somehow he lives the life of the 1% in Texas. His home is in a ritzy Houston suburb and is worth $900,000. And he has a second home that's worth $125,000, and he owns 2 businesses in the local Houston area. He has an $85,000 2011 Lexus LX570 and a Rolls Royce worth more than $325,000. There are also 5 other vehicles registered in Gilbot's name, among them a $52,000 luxury edition Escalade and a 2007 Mercedes-Benz S550 worth more than $95,000, and he has a BMW SUV X5. The reason I'm bringing this up is because most of us know how things work down south of the border and the lawlessness down there, even with the police.
Sergeant, we don't need no stinking budget.
So I am suggesting to this administration that hasn't lifted a finger to help Andrew that they confiscate all of Gilbot's property, and we'll see how fast Andrew gets kicked loose. DateLine, the White House. Saturday, Chuck Todd of Meet the Press called President Barack Obama's delay on an executive order for amnesty of illegals in the U.S. a purely political ploy.
Duh!
But Obama defended his decision to delay executive order on immigration, blaming it on the poor Hispanic kids coming up from the South to our borders on what, in all intents and purposes, was an invitation from him.
Shame on you, Mr. President.
But he stopped just short of blaming it on someone else.
It's Bush's fault. It's Bush's fault. It's Bush's fault.
It's his standard fallback excuse, but hey, a lot of people still are falling for it. Blaming it on Bush might help him with the Latino caucus in D.C. as they see the delay until after the November midterms as another in a long line of broken promises on immigration dating back to 2009. What they can't understand is that this delay on an executive order on amnesty is to save the red state Democrat senators. If Obama grants amnesty before the election, he will bury the Democrats just like he buried the middle class in America. And if he loses the Senate, that means that come 2015, Barack Obama will be able to see impeachment from his porch. Side note, we here at DateLine would like to warn Chuck Todd on his brief flash of reporter integrity in actually exposing the Messiah for the partisan hack that he really is. Chuck, you're walking a fine line, my friend. Keep asking real questions of Obama and your true motives will be exposed. DateLine, California. The 76-year-old governor of the Golden State was shellacked in his debate with the Republican candidate Neil Kashkari last week. Known for his way out and wacky ideas since the first time he tanked California, Jerry Brown has been known as Governor Moonbeam. But this debate was a doozy. Brown was exposed as old, slow, and unresponsive, and at some points, rambled on, never even getting close to answering the question. Even liberal pundits in California gave Kashkari a huge victory in that debate. Kashkari brought to light Moonbeam's dismal 4-year record on jobs, education, and poverty, and he even mocked him for his many ridiculous legislations like plastic bag bans. Kashkari also pledged to end the high-priced, unpopular high-speed rail project that Brown has championed.
He's raising your gas prices to fund his vanity project called the high-speed train, what I call the crazy train.
Crazy train? No wonder Brown wants to build it. He'll be its #1 passenger. DateLine.
Not even a smidgen of corruption.
As if it weren't obvious enough to even the most intellectually handicapped amongst us that the IRS scandal is a full-blown criminal conspiracy and also the ensuing criminal cover-up a reality. We have more breaking news this last week.
Wow.
If you can believe it, the IRS has lost 5 more people's emails.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
And these new 5 just also happen to be under investigation for the illegal targeting of conservatives.
Oh my God.
Now I know it's hard to remember all the components of the cover-up/evidence destroying going on at the Internal Revenue Stasi, so if you're keeping score at home, not only did the IRS lose, then maybe unlose Lois Take the Fifth learner's emails, but 5 others at the beginning of this investigation, but now you have the new 5 IRS thugs losing their emails, making it a grand total of 11 IRS agents losing all their emails that are directly tied to the scandal.
Oh my God!
What's a new twist on an old excuse is that of the new 5 agents that lost their emails, 2 of them are in Cincinnati.
Say what?
Yep, the crashed computer epidemic is not exclusively a Washington, D.C. phenomenon.
Wow.
I wonder if Amazon will lose all its emails since Lois Lerner had bought Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals online from them.
Oh, nah, come on now, baby.
I'm just saying. DateLine. Bitch Slap of the Week.
That's good. Come on, what's the matter with you?
This is a new segment we have at DateLine, since we had an overwhelmingly positive response from last week's show where we bitch-slapped President Obama into admitting that ISIS is actually the Islamic State. Our listeners called for more bitch-slapping of the president, but we can't satisfy their requests. Although he deserves it, we can't bitch-slap him every week.
That is so much crap.
Okay, maybe one little one.
But let me just.
Come on, what's the matter with you?
That never gets old. So the bitch slap of the week for this week is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. The head of the Democratic National Committee belittled domestically abused women last week when she said,
Scott Walker has given women the back of his hand.
Oh, nah, come on now, baby.
She then doubled down on her stupidity and said,
What Republican Tea Party extremists like Scott Walker are doing is they're grabbing us by the hair and pulling us back.
With her propensity to make moronic statements, Debbie is in the blithering idiot Hall of Shame for this comment.
That's good. Come on, what's the matter with you?
But this comment has taken the phony war on women to a despicable level. Just because Governor Walker has an outstanding record in Wisconsin, turned a deficit into a surplus, put Wisconsinites back to work, and is looking like a serious candidate for 2016, you marginalize real domestic abuse for political hack partisan attacks? Side note. Now I do see the irony of DateLine giving Wasserman Schultz the bitch slap of the week for her horrible domestic violence metaphor. So we entrusted our female producer, Raina Malama, with doing the bitch slapping this week, as it would be cause for more perpetuation of the fraud of the so-called war on women. Damn, I really missed out.
You disgust me.
DateLine. Flashback. This is from our June 16th show. DateLine. Tel Aviv. Our United States Embassy in Israel has been flying new colors from the flagpole this month. Right next to the sacred stars and stripes, the same flag, the symbol of freedom for the world that millions have died for all over the globe, is flying a new flag with lots of colors. A rainbow of colors. Flying high over our embassy in Tel Aviv, which represents our great nation to the Israeli people, has been flying the LGBT flag right next to Old Glory.
Say what?
You can't make this stuff up. What some call the first gay president, Barack Obama himself has shown the world that in the face of trials and tribulations across the Middle East and places like Ukraine, that he's a sissy pants when it comes to foreign policy.
Ouch!
I may disagree with the policy of flying the rainbow flag at the Tel Aviv embassy, but let's ask the men from In Living Color, Blaine and Twan, what they think about the LGBT flag flying high over the American embassy.
This one deserves the new and improved 2 snaps, a twist, and a kiss.
DateLine. Reality. Recently, in the run-up to Hillary Rodham Clinton finally announcing that she is running for president, she has got into bed with the global warming hoaxers.
Ew!
I know. I got a visual right when I said it.
You disgust me.
No, it's that disgusts me.
Okay.
So while we all try to get that visual out of our heads, let's continue with DateLine. At Slimy Harry Reid's annual energy conference in Las Vegas, Hillary said,
This is the most consequential, urgent, sweeping collection of challenges we face. Sea levels are rising, ice caps are melting.
Say what?
Yep. Most consequential, urgent challenges we face? The Islamic State's barbarism?
No.
Russia invading other sovereign countries?
No.
23% of U.S. children living in poverty is not consequential?
No.
Black unemployment rising just last month to 11.4% is not an urgent challenge?
No.
Just shameful pandering.
Shame on you.
But what do you expect? She's going to need the environmental vote when she runs for the Democratic nomination and in the general election. Even though the myth of global warming has been exposed as a fraud, like we said right here last week on DateLine when we showed how Al Gore was wrong and the Arctic ice cap is actually growing and not reducing, Hillary is still on the wrong side of the facts. But when you have 0 accomplishments as the Senator of New York, and 0 accomplishments as a Secretary of State, and you are only remembered in your 4 years as the head of the State Department as the person who refused or ignored security requests that got 4 Americans killed in Benghazi, what else besides global warming are you going to cling to?
I don't know.
I know it's a fool's errand, but we have to ask. Hillary, will you ever pull your head out? DateLine.
Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Redo. While the president is known for his ability to lie with a straight face, this not a smidgen comment will come back to bite Obama on his posterior sooner or later. The IRS scandal of the disappearing emails
It's magic!
is the blatant corruption part of the equation. The cover-up is the other felony committed by the Internal Revenue Stasi and most likely White House stooges as well. But now, Eric Holder and his Department of Injustice has been implicated in the massive IRS targeting cover-up.
Oh my God.
Yep, this corruption cancer just keeps metastasizing. But what do you expect from the most lawless Attorney General ever?
It's incredible.
The point man for the DOJ cover-up of the IRS felony is an attorney who worked for Lois Lerner before at the IRS. Andrew Strelka was working with Take the Fifth Lois and then moved on to work at the Justice Department.
Talk about chicken shit.
I know, right? What does Strelka know about justice? At the DOJ, Strelka defended his old co-conspirators, the IRS, against a lawsuit by a pro-Israel group that claimed their tax-exempt status application was singled out and delayed because it opposed the president's policies.
Wow.
So, of course, the House Oversight Committee asked the DOJ to talk to Strelka, as it's obvious as to a conflict of interest in the Justice Department and its phony investigation into the IRS corruption. Not only does the DOJ refuse to turn over their contact information to the House Committee, but they say he no longer works there. But they also show unbelievable nerve that they chastise the committee for even trying to contact Strelka directly.
Say what?
And where is the man that's entwined in not only the felony targeting but the felony cover-up at the DOJ?
And like that,